With the rise of AI, more and more individuals are looking to teach AI, and some individuals have even approached us into opening up what they quote unquote is a university here in Serbia. However, there are some legal aspects when it comes to what you can and cannot do. Are you able to open up a university? Short answer is no. Are you able to offer some sort of education? Yes, but it has to be structured correctly. And today we are going to talk to you about how to open up an education side of business here without getting into legal trouble. All right, before I get into the nuts and bolts of this discussion here, I just want to quickly emphasize that this is not legal advice, and for anything pertaining to this topic here, you would need to book in a consultation with us and go over this with our legal team to make sure that you are structured correctly. And so I just want to be clear that this is just a general rule of thumb video, but when it comes to your specific niche or topic or business adventure, that's going to be something we need to discuss. So today we're going to talk about what's legal, what's not legal, and what are your real options when it comes to opening up what you call is a university or some sort of education here in Serbia. Now, first and foremost, the word university is protected here in Serbia, and so you are not able to just simply open up a university here and use that term. And so one of the things that you have to understand when it comes to being able to use that term here in Serbia is that you need to offer bachelor's, master's, and doctoral programs. You have to cover at least 3 academic fields. You must meet strict staffing requirements, have accredited study programs, and go through the national accreditation program here in Serbia, and that's typically where people will get stuck because you have to go through the government in order to get this process. Now, we can help you in this process, but again, this is not as simple as setting up a business and getting your education or your office space and then turning that into a university, quote unquote. And of course, this is going to be a multi-million euro institutional process. This is not something that you're going to do with just a few thousands of dollars and think that you're going to be good. But on another note, there's some other things that we have to also take into account when you are setting up a some sort of education here, and AI is a hot topic. I've talked about this previously on this channel, where Serbia is going to be in the top 20% of the world's leading countries in AI, and so this is why people have approached us into setting up an AI university or some sort of education here. And with that as well, not only is university a protected term, but there is also faculty, there's academic of applied studies, college and higher education institutions. So you cannot use these terms whatsoever unless you have been formally accredited by the government. So this is something that you have to take into account. I'm sorry if this bursts your bubbles for those that are looking to do so, but there are other smarter routes that you can move forward with this without getting yourself into hot water and some workarounds. And so the things that you can do that are non-formal adult education, and if you want to do this, of course, open up a business under the proper activity code, but then you can also call it things such as AI Academy, AI Institute, AI Training Center, AI Learning Lab, So those are the things that you can legally operate as. But then you can also launch structured AI programs within that, operate commercially, issue certificates of completions. These are not diplomas, these are certificates. So there's obviously two different things here, and depending on what your students are going to be using those certificates for, they may or may not be recognized by other countries, by other jobs, by other programs, whatever it might be. I know when we're looking at people opening up certain businesses here in Serbia, and that when they're required to produce their education or the background and knowledge of that field that they're looking to open up a business, that sometimes the certificate is not going to be recognized, especially if it's some quick online school that you did for 40 hours and quickly got a degree in social media or whatever. Now, I myself am not saying that these are not relevant subjects. However, Serbia does not recognize those in certain aspects. However, they do recognize actual university and college degrees where you went to McMaster, you went to York University, you went to some actually established school and got a diploma of some sort, which is recognized worldwide. So that has to come into your eyesight or into your sphere of thought of what are these students going to be using this certificate for, because you're not going to be issuing diplomas. Now, when you are looking to open up this adult education here, you do essentially have two different options here. You can do option A, which is a publicly recognized organization or organizer, and this will give you a JPOA status. But the thing is with this has to be accredited by the qualifications agency. Programs align with Serbia's national qualifications framework. Certificates recognized in the national system, more oversight and higher credibility locally. So it's a lot more footwork and a lot more capital that you would need to invest to get this started right off the bat, but this is going to be highly recognizable not only within Serbia, but a better chance worldwide. But then you also have the private training company as well, which could be an option for you as well. Now, this is something that you can operate through a DOO, or what I've mentioned before is very similar to an LLC here. It's a separate entity. It's not associated with you as a sole proprietorship. You issue private certificates. There's no state recognition required. There's much more flexibility because you can offer not only one type of education. You can, get into, not only AI but full stack developers. You can get into different sorts of IT out there as well. There's also a faster launch to this, and it is ideal for individuals who are looking to enter international markets. So both of these are legal. It just depends on how recognizable do you want these programs to be. And for my personal side of things, I do understand why people do go through formal education because they want to be recognized. However, speaking from personal experience, I understand that what you are taught in school and what you are taught in the field are two different things. And sometimes private education is that much better, and it'll give you that much more real world experience rather than just the theory of how things operate. Now, there's the question that lies that what if you want to offer actual degrees? And so if you're looking to offer a bachelor in AI, master in machine learning, so on and so forth, well, you have three realistic options or paths, should I say, in order to get there. Now, you can build a fully accredited higher education institution, which, like I've mentioned before, is a longer process, higher capital requirement, and a very heavy compliance here in Serbia as well. Now, another thing that you can do is partner with an existing Serbian university here and have joint programs with them. This is much faster market entry, and you can use their accreditation system in order to do this. And of course, you're going to be piggybacking off an established university already. And so they're going to be having people that are already on their website, bringing traffic in. And so they're just simply going to be adding you as someone, as a partner. Now, what are these universities going to ask for, a partnership? Well, that's all going to be negotiated within contracts and the terms and conditions within those contracts. And now the third option that you have, of course, is franchise or a branch of a foreign university. So if you already have some sort of established university somewhere in another country, then you can set up a franchise here in Serbia or a branch as well and operate it under the foreign accreditation, or you must still apply or must still comply with the local regulations if you don't have that foreign university already established. And so those are essentially the three paths you can do it under. Or if you don't want to do any of those three and not offer any sort of degrees, then you can just open up a business and offer certificates. And now the big question is, can foreigners actually open up a school here in Serbia? And the short answer is yes. You can do this as a Serbian legal entity, you can do this as a foreign legal entity, or you can do this as a natural person. But there are things that you have to understand that come into play. So first and foremost is that the premises must meet ministry standards. So that's something that you're going to have to find a good facility. And we work with clients that need facilities for all business types, essentially, not only schools. And of course, if you're looking for a school, you may need a larger commercial place. And then you also have to take into account where this premises are going to be located. Where are you going to be drawing in students from? So we do work with our clients closely in all business aspects, finding them the correct and proper facility to set up their business in, because of course every business demands a certain type of facility. Now, the teaching staff also must meet qualification requirements. Curriculum must be approved, and licensing is mandatory as well. And so you can't just simply register a company here in Serbia, call it a university, and be on your merry way. There is a lot of rules and compliance issues that you have to do that with, or go through, should I say. But if you're looking simply to give certificates, you can do that through a DOO. So the strategic advice I would offer, I would just recommend that you start with a private AI academy school, for instance, international certification partnerships, industry-driven programs, and corporate training revenue. I would highly recommend you do that, and then scale into the national qualifications alignment, because then you're already going to have something established, and you can then, if you want to go national, you have something to show for. You can't just be like, well, I have not set up anything. I don't know if this is going to work, but I want to go to a national level. If you start off private and start off small and build that up, up, then you'll be more likely to be accepted into the national program, and then have public recognition status, university partnerships, and eventually full accreditation. Which I think is the right path. And I know a lot of people, especially with the AI boom here, not only here in Serbia, but globally, want to move fast. However, if you're looking to set up some sort of school, you also have to go through the legalities, and that's what we're here to help you with. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We'll be happy to go through it in a consultation. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.